Good morning, Don Keith on the Dark Area of a Psychotic video blog. This video blog is brought to you by Campbell Soups. Good. I was thinking this morning that mainstream media oftentimes leaves out many relevant stories that would otherwise be of interest to other people. I guess being a news editor is a little bit more difficult than we let on. So I'm going to speak to some of the stories that have fallen through the cracks. One of them being that Pakistan is quickly becoming an autocracy that doesn't allow democracy to flourish. Likewise, Israel is close to becoming an autocracy as well. Now, these are just matters of opinion from me, okay? Mainly because we're seeing a religious persecution in Pakistan, and we're seeing a movement towards the right-wing Judaism in Israel, where other left-wing members of the countries are fighting back, and there's being riots, and there's being people brought into hiding from the courts in Pakistan. There's riots in Israel where they are against the Netanyahu government, which is passing laws that are extremely more right-wing and less friendly to the American position that settlements in the West Bank are not being protected as well as the rest of Israel. Well, the other story that I think is not being talked about much is the fires in Canada, how they are not put out yet, and that they are putting a crap ton of soot in the air, and that the hurricanes over the Atlantic are driving the soot into the United States as far south as New Jersey. It's making the air quality very bad, and life here is pretty miserable right now because of the air quality. It's also keeping the temperature down, which is, hey, where is summer? It's supposed to be here by the 21st. I'm not looking for that to happen with the way things are going. Okay, another story that's kind of fallen through the cracks is the airplane crash. It was in Northern Virginia with 4 people killed, and the media seems to have just moved on. The investigation of the crash has been ongoing, and nobody's heard anything. What's up with that? Okay, other things, right? Massive derailment in India. Okay, almost 80 people died, and hundreds were injured, and nobody said anything about it in the mainstream news. I tend to watch other programs such as Vice on Showtime. I tend to follow alternative news such as Haystack and other streaming services that most people overlook. I get much more in-depth local coverage, much more in-depth political coverage, and much more in-depth international coverage when I follow the streaming services and the alternative news programs. I don't tend to watch NBC, ABC, Fox News, or any of the rest of those people because they are all biased, either to the right or to the left, or heavily opinionated about why things happen. You know, back during the day when we were straight journalists, we covered the how, the where, the when, and the who. We didn't tell you why. We made that, we left that up to editors and their opinions. Now editors seem to think they're reporters. I mean, trust me, we're not. Editors are not reporters. They're opinion makers. Okay? They're the ones who try to sell their brand of news. I guarantee you, if you're watching mainstream media and they're selling their airtime to advertisers, they're selling their stories too to keep their watchers and their listeners. Okay, some shout outs. My favorite nurse, the bearded lady, the rotten tomato, Drunken Pete, may he rest in peace. The Standing Statue, Mama Good Tater, and the Jump Street Twins. Hope they're doing okay. All right, this has been Don Keith for the Diary of a Psychotic video blog, and brought to you by Campbell's Soups. Good.